All right then, let's do this. Hello everybody, welcome to yet another Narwhals development live stream. Let's go. Cool. Seeing some familiar names in the chat. Hey Francesco, hey Magdalena, hey there. Cool. Got the Narwhals gang here. Nice. Let's do this. So today I thought it would be fun to take a look at the amazing library IMC, library for Magdalena. Do we have an official list of tunes we can choose from? No, there's no official list. Whatever you want to request, if I happen to be able to do it, I might do it. Otherwise, I might just pretend I didn't see your comment. I'm not going to admit that I can't play it. That would be ridiculous. Right. I thought it would be fun to take a look at PyMC. It's a library for Bayesian computation, and one of their maintainers opened up an issue about using narwhals. Somebody else opened up a pull request about just using a specialized Polars path, and I don't want to tell them whether they should be using narwhals or not, but I'm just curious to see if we tried narwhalifying this code base, what would happen? Would it actually work? And if so, maybe we could suggest to them just as a request for comments. And if not, then it can help us to identify what are the missing pieces inside of Narwhals, and then we can work on them, ready for the next library that might be interested in using this. Sounds like a plan? Sounds like a plan. Yeah. IMC. Whew. So I've just set up an environment. I've just forked the repository. It should be visible. I'm not. I usually get distracted when sharing screens and have things over other things. So if it's not visible, please let me know. Right, and now it's time to make sense of what they wanted to use Polars for. So they have an example in a pull request that somebody's opened about using Polars, but what I'm confused about is why in this example passes on the main branch as well. It seems like it already passes. So what exactly did they need to change? Well, let's try a couple of things. If anyone in the chat is an expert in PyMC, maybe they can give us a clue. So we've got pm.data, we give some data frame, dimensions, rows, and columns. We infer them. Maybe I need to learn a bit more about what PyMC does, because doing the naive thing of just running the example isn't revealing too much to me at the moment. So pm.data, kind of feel like I should really make sense of these dimensions and infer dims and chords first. Yeah, let's spend a little bit of time just making sense of that. And then we can get to the next part. So, well, there's something about it on the README as well. Yeah, sure. Dims. Right. Well, this isn't super illuminating. Let's try the other example which they had there in the pull request. I'll just bring it out now. GitHub IMC. I'm just looking for something that we can run where it can be like before it didn't pass, now it passes, and let's see if we can do it better. using Narwhals. So let's look at an example they've got using PyTensor. So they're doing something like this. And NumPy array is just an array like this. Import NumPy as NP. They make a data frame. And then they're running as tensor variable eval. Okay, let's see what happens if we run this. PT is not defined. And that's pytensor.tensor. All right. Cool. Let's see what happens. Cannot convert shape. What if we used a pandas data frame? Oh, it still doesn't. It's still not supported. What? All right, I'm gonna give up on this PyMC example before too long, and I'm just gonna go back to reviewing Narwhal's pull requests. But I kind of would like to see if we can get it working just a little bit first. Right, so in the pull request, they're just making a data frame from a NumPy array, and then they're doing as tensor variable dot eval. How is this any different to what we have? I'm gonna be honest, my initial feeling is a bit like this. Nonetheless, I'm sure we can figure something out. Well, let's see. Are we up to date? Git branch, git log. Okay, we've got latest commit is from the 21st of August. Seems pretty recent. Okay, it's up to date. So, well, what if we just run the test? Let's just run it with PyTest. See if that works. Hey, this passes. All right. Test PD data frame as tensor variable. This is kind of encouraging. Does this mean that there's something at the top that we need that gets enabled? Is there some import that needs to happen in order for us to be able to use this? The PD data frame as tensor variable. I'm just going to copy and paste this again, see if anything different happens. And np array equals this thing. And then if we run it, we don't need the equal. Yeah, and this is strange. It just says it can't convert it. Okay, so let's debug this step by step. Let's put everything up until that point, and let's just keep removing things until it stops working. Usual strategy for debugging. Hey, now it works. All right, so there must be something that they import that makes it work. So let's do a binary search. Right, Python T, okay, like this it works. And let's just remove things in halves. Let's remove the initial inputs I did, just to clean it up a little bit. All right, next, let's remove all of those. Still works, okay. Let's do this half. Ah, now it stops working. Aha. Let's put half of them back. Ah, now it works. Which one of these do we need? Tensor variable, subtensor, normal uniform. Okay, what if we uncomment import PyMC as PM? Oh wait, now it's working. And we've uncommented practically everything. Okay, I think it's literally just this import PyMC as PM. Yeah, okay. Presumably importing PyMC does some extra stuff. Not sure I'm a fan of that. Imports having side effects is a bit questionable nonetheless. Who am I to comment on their design decision? Okay, so I think now we've got the most stripped down possible version of something that works. And that means we can go to the next step, which is to Narwhalify. Let's do it. Debugging is my favorite part. Yeah. Binary search debugging. Good way to do things. There's a comic strip about debugging which I really want to share. I think Julia Evans did it. A debugging manifesto. This is really cool. Let's just paste it here in the chat. Yeah, it's all about how debugging can actually be kind of exciting. Like being stuck is temporary. It's a chance to learn new things. And there's always a reason. Computers are logical. It's a chance to understand what's happening around your code. And it can become an adventure. Yeah. Well, fortunately, we did conclude our adventure by just importing PyMC as PM. Let's make sure we don't accidentally remove it if we run rough. Don't remove this. It has side effects. Yeah. Now, what happens if we swap out pandas with polars? Using binary search in debugging is even better. Yes, I agree. Now, if we run it with polars, yes, it fails. All right, so we're going to make this pass by using Narwhals. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Going to teach them a lesson. And we're going to do this by going into pytensorf.py. And Convert data. Does convert data get called for this PyTensor part? Maybe not. Ah, here it is. So they register pd.series and pd.dataframe. So let's do Magdalena's favorite part, which is to debug. Let's insert a breakpoint, see what takes us there, and see where, maybe, we should be narwhalifying. Might be here, might be there, might be everywhere. All right, well, this is the part that doesn't work. Let's go back to using pandas. Understand the code. That was the first part of the debugging manifesto. Once we've understood it, using what works, we can make it run for what we don't support yet, which is polars. I don't have a good song to play for polars. We have a suggestion. Mind you, I don't have a good song for pandas as well. The only song I know is the Narwhals song. Oh well, we'll think of something. Here, DF is just this amazing pandas data frame, and oh wow, this is it's the single dispatch thing. Oh my gosh, this is properly dirty. As tensor variable. Well, surely this must come from somewhere, right? Right? I don't know. To be honest, this whole single dispatch thing still feels a bit magical to me. Is there like a def as tensor variable? No. That's why it feels magical. Like we've got a function as tensor variable, but somehow it doesn't really get defined in the classical way. Magdalena, Frozen by Madonna. Could it be a good Polish song? What's Frozen by Madonna? Frozen by Madonna. I've never heard this song. The only Frozen I know is the so on. Enough Disney princessing. Let's get back to the task at hand. What's going on here? As tensor variable. Okay, more debugging. I shouldn't shy away from this. PyTensor.tensor.basic. Ah, it's a function. Magdalena, I don't know that Frozen. You don't know that Frozen? The Disney song? The Disney movie? What? You don't know Let It Go? I thought it wasn't possible. At least in the UK, I think it's the #1 most karaokeed song ever. So you don't choose whether you know that song in the UK or not. You just it just gets forced into your face, into your ears. Okay, so PyTensor is just a totally different package, and they've got their as tensor variable. Do we have any docs on this? So PyTensor looks like it's a library made by PyMC devs themselves. Which is interesting, although this might be a tricky one to narwhalify, to be honest. because here, so here's where it's defined inside the PyTensor package as tensor variable. But my question is this something that users should be using directly, or is it something that's used internally inside PyMC? Because if it's just used internally, then maybe we have a chance of narwhalifying it. If not, then maybe we need to first check out narwhalifying PyTensor. So here's the thing with all of this data frame agnostic code, like you start thinking, what functions do we need? And it often just turns out that the complications are not really where you expect. There's just so many complications, so many details that need taken care of before it can actually work. But whatever. We don't shy away from this. Let's do it. Yeah, is this used internally anywhere? So as tensor variable. Here it is, make node. Oh my gosh, but here they get into like super complicated things, which which I'm not sure I can really comment on. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of feel like this might be a contribution that would have to be made upstream within PyTensor. So, okay, guess we might be bailing on this narwhalifying PyMC task. But there is something else we can try to narwhalify, and that is Marimo. So Luca Badji did share an issue in the Discord about how something in Marimo no longer works if you don't have pandas installed. So yeah, I might have to take a look at that later. But first, let's go back to what's it called? Let's go back to Narwhals itself and let's try finally to merge the pull request which implements when, then, otherwise. Bit of a tricky one, but this does enable quite a bit. So yeah, let's do it. So I think what was the branch called? Okay, what about formulaic? Did you do some more work on it? I think we've enabled a few more things for them, but yeah, formulaic does look pretty complicated, and I'm not sure I have the brain power at the moment to do that. So yeah, let's do when then otherwise. That's also like a pure Narwhals code base. This can help to do things within Narwhals. People can ask questions about Narwhals itself. And yeah, this might just be a slightly more interesting experience for a Narwhals development live stream. Otherwise, it all ends up just being like, let's make sense of formulaic. Right, let's do this. And we did have a pull request open for this. Let's find it. Okay, add when then otherwise expression. So this is what we're going to try to get in. Pull request number 588 so add where expression. Git pull, let's check we're up to date. What's this? Git bailing on us? An expected disconnect while reading sidebind packet. Just when I thought I'd seen all the most mysterious errors from Git, they hit me with this. Okay, right. So we've reset hard to this person's branch. Let's also just fetch upstream, merge upstream, upstream main. Make sure we're up to date. Cool. Let's do this. So just to give a quick demonstration of what we're trying to do, in polars, there's a convenient when, then, otherwise expression. So it lets you do things like this, like let's make a data frame. Not PDPL. A123, B456. That's the only data frame I can create. And then we can do something like select when pl.a call A is greater than 1, then B. And if we print this, then it gives us when A is greater than 1, then we keep the value from the then column, which is B, and otherwise it just gets filled with none. With none. If you want to fill the cases when this expression is false, you can put an otherwise there. You could say like otherwise I want it to be a 0. And if you want, yeah, exactly. So how can we do this within Narwhals? And there are some complications here. So one is that in pandas, if we start with some integers and we do like when, then if one of those integers becomes none, then the data type is going to change from int to float, which is a bit annoying. Anyway, we do have a pull request open to deal with this. Oh wait, in the chat I don't see any change. I'm still seeing the code from PyMC. I told you I wasn't very good at Windows. Let's close the PyMC window. Does it now show the... No, it doesn't. Okay, we need to try this again. So VS Code, Photos API. Okay, right. Now I think it might be there. Cool, thanks. Yeah, it's a good thing that you're keeping me on track here. Yeah, it's black for a second, but it should be loading. All right, enough. Back in black. Yay, we've got it. Woohoo. Yeah, this should be it. So, as I was saying, we do when, then, otherwise in polars, and we need to find a way to translate this. The annoying thing is that when the condition is false, we need to fill with none values, but those none values might not be valid for our given data type. So what do we do? Need to figure out how to do this. So let's start by seeing what our friend has done so far. Import narwhals as NW. Then let's make a narwhalified function. Def func df. Whoops. And we're gonna return dfs.select nw.when a is greater than 1. Oh, sorry. When a is greater than 1, then b. Let's see what happens. If we pass in our original Polos data frame, we get the same thing that would happen if we were running Polos directly, which is encouraging. But what if we were to pass in a pandas data frame? Well, we need to import pandas as a start. Okay, so here's the thing that I'm not so sure about, which is that well, there's a couple of things I'm not really sure about. One is that we've converted to a nullable integer, and the second is that the string b was treated as a literal, whereas we want the column b. So for now, I'm just going to do like call b, but yeah, later we are going to have to address that. Right. Okay, let's see how this is working, what this is doing, and how we can fix it. But first, we need to take a break. Be back in 5. Right, let's get back to things. Just check the sound is still okay. All right, need to catch up on the chat. I defo learn taking breaks watching those streams. All right, one sec. We've got some requests. Okay, can I play Toxic by Britney Spears? Something like that. Sweet Leaf by Black Sabbath. I don't know this song. Friday's a good day because Marco is live streaming. Woo! Oh no, VS Code. Yeah, I tried live streaming using Luna Vim once, but I'm not good enough at Vim, and I was making a fool of myself. So yeah, gonna be VS Code. Sorry about that. Yay, Toxic. Right, lots of dancing emojis from Akmal. Woo! Anyway. So what are we doing today? We're trying to figure out how and if we can merge the pull request which implements when, then, otherwise in Narwhals. Not the simplest thing, but we got to do it. And what I don't like about the current implementation is that we're converting to nullable data types. I kind of feel like we should be preserving the data type backend of the original data. So let's take a look at what's going on at the moment, and let's stop complaining, and let's try to do it better. Looks like somebody's liked the video on YouTube. Thank you, person. Helps with, I'm not sure what it helps with, but it probably helps with keeping my company happy, so I can probably still keep getting permission to do these. Let's take a look. Def when. So yeah, if you want to see more of these, like, subscribe, that kind of boring stuff. Never thought I'd hear myself say that, but hey. No problem. Yes, thanks, Akmal. Legendary Akmal, who I had the pleasure of meeting at PyData Italy this year. Okay, so when, then, fairly innocuous stuff. Let's take a look at what's happening here inside pandas. So first of all, we do an all horizontal between the predicates, and this seems like a pretty innocuous thing. Let me just upvote bomb you from the Indian click farm. Yes, please do. And while you're there, also get them to give us 1,000,000 stars on Narwhals. Might help with people trusting us, or maybe not, I don't know. Right, so let's look at then the when then arg process. And I think this is where things get a little bit fishy. Because, okay, if it's an expression, we just return that. If it's a series, then we create an expression from the value. If it's a NumPy array, yeah, sure, we make an array out of it. And otherwise, we've just got a single value, and we create a series from that value. This is the part I'm not totally sold on. Roger that. Yes, thanks, Akmal. Cool. Yeah, this is the part I'm not totally sold on, but let's see what happens. So value series is there otherwise. Here's the thing, we're doing this maybe convert D types, which not sure about. So let's put a breakpoint, which by now you've learned is my solution to most things. Most things in life can be solved with breakpoints. So value series, this is our original series. So we can take a look at the native series underneath it, it's just 4 and 6. Then we've got the otherwise, and then, wait, before we get to the otherwise, we've got condition, which should be a Boolean mask with, I think it's going to be false, true, true. Yes, that's exactly what we've got. And, you know, do we even want... Because I think pandas has its own method to do this. Like, doesn't pandas have something like when, then, or something? In fact, isn't that what's used inside of zip with? Yeah, zip with uses where. Well, I'm just going to try to do this kind of naively. I don't think that zip with is the right solution, but also I don't know for certain yet. So whatever, let's try things out. So value series, native series. Then I'm going to do where condition. What happens if I just do? Oh yeah, we need to do dot to native. Okay, so if I just do where condition, this is already pretty good. So, well, can we print out the otherwise value? None. Okay, maybe we can just do that then. So we can say if self dot otherwise value is none, then we return. We're going to do value series from native series, and then we're going to do value series dot native series dot where condition. Save 3 times just to be extra safe. Oh yeah, condition also, we need the native one. Okay, not exactly what I was expecting to see. Oh, it needs to return a list. Right. Yay! Okay, this looks nice. Now we have preserved the data type backend, which I presume pandas will do automatically for us. Like if we don't have to think about data type backends, then that's a good thing. So let's try that just as an experiment. Let's try putting dtype backend equals PyArrow. Yes, and you see now it's actually kept it as a PyArrow data frame. Let's just print the dtypes to be sure. Yeah, now we've got int64 PyArrow. Cool, nice, getting excited. Yeah, I think this is probably a better idea for live streams than trying to make sense of code bases that are foreign to me and trying to normalify them. Like, let's do work within Narwhals itself. Try to take this forwards. I can say more about this. Anyway, yeah. Cool, this is encouraging, getting somewhere. Yeah, I like that. So the next thing is to deal with the otherwise case. Otherwise, 0. And what happens then? Wait, what? Okay, otherwise 0. Yeah, otherwise, does this make sense? Okay, what if, just for the sake of argument, what if we had put a dot there? Yeah, so polars would upcast, but because of the way that we've implemented this, it isn't upcasting, and I think it's because we're trying to be too smart. So instead of doing this zip with and maybe convert data types, I think we need to do something ourselves. Let's do that here. So, how are we doing in the chat? Doesn't look like there's anything new to respond to. Okay, all good. And What the hell? Yeah, we can do this. So let's put a breakpoint there. Try to run this and see what happens. Okay, so we have hit the breakpoint. And okay, so what happens if we take value series dot native series, then we do where, and then we do condition dot native series, and then in the else block we put otherwise self dot otherwise value. Well, in this case, yeah, it kind of just works. Well, it works if it's a single value, but well, maybe that's okay because we need to make a series out of it. Right. Okay, right. We got another like on the video. Thanks, people, for supporting the channel and for hopefully letting Quonsite keep allowing me to do these streams. We need to do something smart here. Because when is the value series actually getting right? So it's like, yeah, in the end, the value series. No, wait. Yeah, it's so difficult to take something that someone else has started and trying to finish it. But we're going to do it anyway. So if we've got something like this, then the starting point. This is what I'm confused about. So where's the dot then value? So self dot then value is B. Okay, yeah. So then value series is column B, but where's column A in all of this? Oh wait, sorry, no. Yeah, column A we just used to do the condition. Yeah, that makes sense. So then I think the then cannot be a scalar, can it? I think then is going to have to be an entire series. So this will be slightly more restrictive than polars, but not really an issue. Right, we've got yet another like on the YouTube video. Cool, thanks people. And yeah, that's going to help make the case with Quonsite to let me keep doing them. Thanks. So how are we going to do this? We're going to assume that value series, I think almost certainly has to be a series rather than a scalar. Yeah, I don't think we want this branch. I think here we want to raise an error. So let's have message cannot pass a scalar value to the then predicate of when, then, otherwise. Raise type error. Yeah. And then for the otherwise one, maybe we need a we need an allow scalar option, because what happens if we take the value series and we do where condition native series, and then so for the other part, we can either put a single value or we can put a series. So let's see what happens in both cases. So if we put a single value, let's say 999, then that gets filled. On the other hand, if we were to put a series, like ed.series, well, actually, I'm not even sure I know what happens in Polus when you do this. And I think there's going to be some index alignment that we're going to have to get. That's going to get really confusing. So let's start by making sense of that, maybe. So otherwise, let's add an extra column called C. C is going to have 7, 8, 9. So when A is greater than 1, then column B, and otherwise column C. Let's see what happens. Okay, yeah, so the idea is just, in the otherwise case, you just take the value from the C column. So I think what we can do is we can just extract the... We need to pass the expression, and if it can't be passed... So, sorry, no. What we need to do is, if it's... let's just write this down. So, strategy is going to be, for then, if it's a... If it's a string, then pass it as nw.call, and then value. If it's a scalar, like an integer, then just leave it as a scalar. And if it's an expression, then resolve it. Yeah, we can resolve it because we've got df here. Yeah, we can do this. Right, let's see how we're doing for time. We've got 6 minutes left. Ain't no... Yeah, we can't stall here. Yeah, just like condition we evaluated. Condition definitely has to be an expression. Okay, so I'm gonna leave a comment here. So what if condition was a series? Do we handle that? If not, we better handle it. Right. Yeah, this is the thing, the when then arg process. This feels like it's repeating something that we already have somewhere. Like, surely we've got some evaluate, maybe evaluate. Yeah, surely there's like some maybe evaluate expression. Yeah, let's remove the maybe convert d types. I don't like that. And then, yeah, I think we've got some. Yeah, I think there's something else we can use. Let's take a look. So from narwhals dot expression parsing, we've got maybe evaluate extra. Maybe that's what we want. You can't remember. So self dot then value. Use this pandas like extra. And maybe evaluate extra. Oh, so this needs to be done a level above. This is like before we've got down to the pandas level. So here it's already a yeah, it's already a pandas expression. Do we have anything inside utils that passes expressions? Native series, set access, translate, dtypes. Gosh, that's a complicated one. Broadcast, no. But I was sure we had something. Which makes me think we're not doing this quite correct. Okay, what happens here inside narwhals.when? What we do is we just return this class when with predicates, which we just flatten, and then in the when part we're just extracting these, extract compliant. So, right, yeah, like this we've got compliant expression, compliant series, or just a big nothing. But what do we do for other things? Sorry. So hard to remember code you wrote previously. What do we do for like a dataframe.filter? Okay, so we're first passing to all horizontal. Pass into extras. That's what we need, I think. So what this one will do, yeah, this is what we want. Pass into extra, which is narwhals underscore expression parsing. Right, so let's do that. From narwhals.expression parsing, import pass into x. Now let's evaluate t again. And when we get here, if we do pass into extra with self dot then value, we also need to pass the namespace, which is going to be, oh, we've got the PLX. Oh, cool. Like this, we do get an expression. Okay. I think this should be value series is going to be passed into extra self dot then value and PLX. And then we're going to pass in this data frame. Let's just take the first one. Yeah. Now, if we evaluate it, pass into extra takes one. Oh, right. This needs to be named. All right. So have we restored the same value as before? I think we've restored the same value as before. Let's differentiate these functions. Func1 and func2. So in func1, we're not going to have otherwise, and in func2, we are. So cool, we've restored the value, we've restored the behavior we had previously. Just gonna commit this temporarily. Whip, yeah, it's found a breakpoint. There's a million things breaking. So I'm gonna commit with -n. So this just tells pre-commit to chill out a bit and not complain about everything we're doing. So yeah, if we need to take a break, but we want to make sure that we've got a commit just in case the house starts burning down for some reason, then -n can allow us to tell pre-commit to do that. Anyway, we do need to take a break. So yeah, thanks for your engagement. I'm gonna see you soon. All right, let's get back to things. I'm gonna do another sound test because I often forget to turn my volume up. Um, okay, I can hear myself, so I think it's working. You can always play more Toxic if you feel like it. Toxic is an amazing tune, so always happy to play a bit more Toxic. Let's try the chorus. That's always a fun one. Thanks, Magdalena, for the suggestion. Where were we? Yeah, when then otherwise. I feel like we've got a good strategy here. Toxic is awesome, especially on guitar. It is, yeah. Um, there's some really good guitar covers of Toxic on YouTube if you search them. When in fact, to be honest, I think the original is an amazing song. You know, it's one of those tunes that when it came out, nobody in my social circle would have admitted to listening to it. But 20 years later, everyone is like, ah, yeah, Toxic. Woo. Just goes to show the power of nostalgia. And yeah, when I was growing up, the way people would talk about Pink Floyd and bands from that time, that's how people are going to talk about Britney Spears in a while. Um, could you learn Mexican songs, please? Um, so I don't know if it's actually Mexican, but like this, what's that song that goes like something like that? How does it go? Something like that. I don't know. I can't really find it now. Uh, like I think I've heard it referred to as like the Mexican hat dance. Like, is it actually a Mexican song? Let's see, can we find it? So, that's it. That's it. Sorry. Okay, lots of laughter from there here in the chat. Yes, it's actually a Mexican song. Wonderful. Um, what else? I think Los Lobos. Were they actually Mexican, Los Lobos, or were they just like Americans pretending to be Mexican? Los Lobos. Is it a Mexican American rock band. Cool, yeah. Anyway, cool. So this is come and do Narwhals development and assorted musical chats with Marco on Friday afternoons. We can do a bit of both. Yeah, musical chats are definitely more fun. All of them Mexicans. Which one? Los Lobos Mexican American. Ah, okay, cool, thanks. Interesting. Yeah, any other requests for Mexican songs, let me know, and I'll see if I can find something for next time. In the meantime, yeah, that's now I've got the Mexican hot dance stuck in my head. It's like the whole stream, I'm just gonna be there thinking. Just gonna live rent free in my head for the rest of the stream. Right. Let's do this. Kind of hard to focus after such musical interludes. So yeah, as we said, so for value series, we're going to pass it into an expression. We're then going to evaluate the expression, and this should just return a single value, and we then extract that value. Cool stuff. Actually, I don't think there's anything to stop it from returning multiple values. So here we should technically like to do raise if the evaluated expression has length has multiple outputs. But we can deal with that later. So then we need to take a look at the otherwise value. And this one could be a scalar. So what happens if we just do pass into expression? So first of all, yeah, I agree that if otherwise value is none, we can just use where directly. But otherwise, well, if yeah, breakpoint, usual answer. Usual answer to most things in life. Now, if only real life was like that, you could just insert breakpoints when you can't understand what's happening and you just inspect everything around you. Right, so we've got self dot otherwise value. Yeah, so wait, what? Oh yeah, so here, yeah, okay. In the first one, function one, we've got that one. But I'm more curious about what happens if we just pass a single value. So let's try that. Like 9. Actually, so recently within Narwhals, we merged a pull request number 666. That was an Iron Maiden song called The Number of the Beast, in case anyone didn't get the reference. So in honor of that, let's put the number 666 here. And now, see what happens in the code. Self.otherwise value is just a scalar, right? So if we try to pass this into expression, I think, yeah, wait, what happens if we try to pass this? 666 namespace equals plx, number of the beast. Yeah, I'm not gonna try to do the what's his name? Bruce Dickinson. Yeah, scream. Um, Cool. Brings me back to my teenage years. I was obsessed with Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden, Metallica. I was a bit close-minded. Didn't listen to much else for a period of time. Until somebody told me that I should really check out Oh wait, what the hell? Root name 666, output names. No, no, we definitely don't want this. Yeah, anyway, I was a bit obsessed with Iron Maiden, Metallica, Children of Bodom, Arch Enemy, and other metal bands, until somebody told me I should check out Miles Davis. And that's when I got really obsessed with jazz. I was like, yeah, what is this stuff? But then, like, from the initial moments of that album, Kind of Blue, I was just really hooked. Couldn't listen to anything else. I think, like, for a month, I was just listening to Kind of Blue on repeat. I had no idea what was going on. I couldn't distinguish between a trumpet and a saxophone, but it just sounded like nothing I'd ever heard, and it was really magical. And if anyone's never listened to the album Kind of Blue by Miles Davis, it's really quite an experience. Like, it brings you to heaven. It's quite something. How are we going to do this? We need like some. I kind of feel like we need to make pass into extra. Can we make this, I don't know, stricter or something? If it's a string. Oh, because in fact, yeah, it's because pandas does allow non-string column names. Uh, okay, now what? This is. Maybe this was a mistake, actually. Maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe we shouldn't be allowing hashable here, to be honest. Not entirely sure. Okay, we're going to take a little break from this particular pull request. I want to see if we go back from hashable to string, then what breaks. So git commit am work in progress n. Let's check out the main branch. Let's make sure we're up to date with main. We're going to do a git pull. Okay. And then let's change this from hashable to string. And let's run PyTest. Let's have it run and let's see what fails. Sorry. All right, so there's one test failing, select test. Select non-string select. And yeah, maybe we shouldn't be allowing this because, oh wait, no, this is different because we're just putting a 0 there. Yeah, I think we can allow this, but without it going, without passing this as an expression. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Red numbers, yes. So yeah, this is from Vincent's pull request, not pull request, Vincent's podcast, in which I mentioned that one of my early-ish contributions to open source was to PyTest. So you see here on the right that you've got these percentages, and their color matches. Like the moment you've got one failing test, it becomes red, and it's red all the way after that. So yeah, this is what was a pull request I'd made. Before I'd done this, it was just always blue. I don't normally do aesthetic pull requests that change the way things look, but I did this one, which was a lot of fun. And yeah, a little bit of trivia. So yeah, I think we should let like df select 0 should still work. Let's see if we can find a better way to get this to work. And then we can go back to the when then otherwise pull request. Nice from there, thank you. Also, yeah, PyTest, it was like a really friendly project to contribute to. To be honest, maybe it's a bit too much on the engineering side for my interests at the moment. I'm a bit more interested in data stuff, so I didn't really take it any further than that. Nice to change the color from green to red, yeah. Uh, but anyway, yeah, if you want a friendly project to contribute, then my top recommendation, of course, is Narwhals, but PyTest is another pretty good one. So def select, at least based on the limited interactions I had with them. So what we want to take a look at is inside here. If they're all, maybe here we should do if they're all hashable. And then here we can have a fast path. Does this make sense? As in, I kind of want to. What exactly do I even want? I kind of want to allow people to select. Maybe we shouldn't actually be allowing this at all. Yeah, I don't think we should be allowing this at all, to be honest. I bet PyTest doesn't do live streams with live music on request. Probably not. This is a bit of a niche thing. Well, maybe not that niche. I mean, I always it's kind of cringe, but like when I go to conferences and I just get chatting to people, ask what they're interested in, like the number of times that I come across other white guys who do programming and play guitar, like it's embarrassing. We are so predictable. Anyway, yeah, I kind of feel like maybe this shouldn't be passing. Or, well, maybe just to keep it a little bit user friendly, what we can do is if they're all column names, then we can allow it. But otherwise, then you really need to specify nw.col if it's it's a column name. So let's try that. So I'm going to do pytest lf. Anyone not familiar with that, that means last failed. So just going to run the last failed test. Right, that's not quite what I was expecting. So, well, why not? I was expecting it to just select column 0. The data types are different. Okay, so I'm going to now do pytest pdb. I love putting breakpoints, and I like it even more when my tools put breakpoints for me. And if you pass a --pdb to pytest, then do that for you. So result, yeah, this looks like what I was expecting, but wait, yeah, the D type is int64. Why on earth would this not be passing? Does this really fail? I don't believe it. Yeah, left object, right int64. Kidding me. So this one here, if we look at D types, int64, yeah, and then result, D types. It's the same, int64. What on earth is this complaining about? Am I missing something really obvious here? Yes, definitely, but what? How are these not the same? So result, and then this here, which is my expected. Yeah. I think there's a meme of like programmers having something that fails and then they just run it again. And I'm going to prove that I'm no better than them by just running it again. Oh, the index is different. Really? Well, no, it can't be different. Yeah, it's a range index. D-type in 64. I mean, yeah, range index is always that. How is this even possible? Let's just assign this to a variable so we don't have to keep typing it. Okay, from the chat, damn. Yeah, I remember some viral video from a few years ago that was like, oh my damn. Some guy eating a cheeseburger or something. Dash dash PDB, what a nice feature. Yes, it's amazing. Love it. So the dash dash PDB drops you right into where the assertion happens, so that you then typically have to press U a few times to get back into your code. But yeah, it's not that bad. Expected. No, but this is somebody's pulling my leg. So what do I have, like an old version of pandas or something? No, it's new pandas, NumPy 2.1. Pretty modern stuff. Oh, okay, let's check the name. Columns. Oh my, no, you cannot be serious. No, this is just ridiculous. No. Oh, no, this is not possible. So the result.columns now is an index of object data type. And in the expected, it's an index of int64 data type. No. Just when I thought pandas couldn't get any stranger. How on earth did this used to work before then? So, all right, so before we would go down this path, look, to be honest, I don't think anyone cares about the data type of columns. So, yeah, so it has to be, I think object is correct, actually. We're preserving the data type of the original one. You know what? Maybe expected. Let's just take, no, actually, let's not do that, but we can do this, and then expected.columns equals expected.columns as type object. Just when I thought I'd seen everything, I get a test failing because the data type of the columns object is different. Cool. I think this simplifies things, and I think it's a bit nicer. But we might... Does this need documenting? Const select specified as positional arguments. Strings are passed as column names. Other non-expression inputs are passed as literals. Is this actually correct? Technically, I'm supposed to take a break, but I'm going to slightly defer the break because I'm really in the zone now. Is this actually true? So import narwhals as in W, import def func df. And I'm going to return df.select 909. No. I think we just need to disallow this, to be honest. It's like if, yeah, non-string columns should be passed as literals. If you want the name, you should you should use nw.col. Yeah, I think this should make a bit more sense. Let's go back into here. Let's keep this as string. And I just want to check something. Okay, let's get out of these when then otherwise things. And now if we select, let's say 999, so let's take column A and 999. Let's see what happens. Expected, yeah, okay, this actually fails for pandas, and for polars it passes a literal 999. Gosh, we need to decide what to do with. Well, the best way to debug is to take a walk, to take a break, to get more sleep. So I'm going to take a break, and when I get back, let's see if we can figure this out. Thanks, everyone, and see you soon. Oh, back to business. Here we are once again. Sorry, once again. Thank you, chat. Thank you, Dea, for catching the fact that I wasn't, in fact, talking. Yeah, we're here again. Yeah, I once again started my live stream without speaking. Is it working now? Yeah, I think it should be working now. Well, let me know if not. Cool. Let's continue this party. Let's raise a better error message here. Better error messages. Like everyone says they want better error messages, but they're pretty difficult to write. It's working. Hey, Bruno! Thanks. Whoops. Yes. Okay, cool. It's working. So expected an object which can be converted into an expression got this, and then we should say, then we want a hint. Hint. If you have if you were trying to select a column which does not have a string column name, then you should explicitly use nw.call. For example, df.select nw.call 0 if you have a column named 0. All right, that looks noticeably better. We're telling people what to do. Maybe let's insert a new line here as well, just make it a bit easier on the eyes. Missed the start, I'll have to watch the recording. What's cooking, Doc? Yeah, so I started off taking a look at when, then, otherwise in Narwhals, and just came across a little oddity which I'd like to address beforehand, which is to do with select. And I don't think we should be allowing integers in select. This is a slight change in stance compared to a pull request I think I made earlier this week, because I thought scikit-learn would need this. But if they need this, then the workaround should be as simple as just doing this. Except this doesn't quite work either, so let's... Oh, sorry, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for polars, sure, but let's just... Because polars doesn't let you have non-string column names in the first place because they made some sensible sign decisions, but let's try to do it for pandas. And nice, like this, it does actually work. Okay, so let's make a pull request in which we enforce this behavior before it's too late. And then we can get back to when, then, otherwise later. But yeah, first fundamentals like select. We will get this when, then, otherwise. I think we're not that far off. But it's a tricky function, and I really want to make sure that we get it right. And I think nullable integers in pandas, like, they're a bit mixed. Support for them is especially mixed in other libraries, so I don't think we should be going from the classical types to nullable types on behalf of the user, unless they explicitly asked for nullable types. So let's just enforce this. Let's make sure that we've got tests to cover this. So select test. So in this case, I'd like to be able to select that by doing nw.call 0. And then let's have a test to check that if we were to just pass 0, we would get a really nice error message. So with pytest.raises, raises type, I think it was, match, and let's check that we've got like a hint. What's the hint we wrote? You were trying to select. Yeah, maybe let's not match the whole error message. Let's make sure to import pytest. And now let's check if this runs. Select test. Doesn't quite pass. Oh, it's assertion error. No, I think this assertion error isn't really nice enough for the user. Let's make this a type error. There's still one that's failing, and that is the non-string select. Oh, that's because we just changed it so we can restore its original behavior. Right, nice. Let's do this, and let's update the documentation so that it's clear to people what to expect. Glad that we're doing this now before it's too late. Specified as positional arguments. Was this copied from the polars documentation? Polars select. What does this actually mean? Specified as, oh, positional arguments in the pandas. Sorry, in the Python sense, yeah. Accepts expression input, sure. Strings are passed as column names. Yeah, I think that's all we need to say, really. That's all we need to say here. But I would also like a little notes section in which we repeat what we've got there in the warning, which is if you'd like to select a column name whose name isn't a string, for example, if you're working with pandas, then you should explicitly use nw.col, or instead of just passing the column name. For example, you select column named 0, use df.select nw.col 0, not df.select 0. Yeah, we really want to avoid all of the ambiguity that happens when that's typical of working with pandas. So we do. I think there was also a page in the documentation. Non-string columns are supported in some places where they might create ambiguity, such as dataframe.getItem or dataframe.select. We may be strict and only allow passing in column names if they're strings. Yes, I think this is what we should do. Nice. Let's make a pull request. If there's time in our, we've got 14 minutes in our Pomodoro session, so if there's time, we can get back to the when, then, otherwise. And if not, that'll be a topic for next time. So what branch are we on? Main. So let's make a new branch. Stricter select, commit otherwise. I'd say that being stricter is a feature. Yeah, let's call it a feat. So make dataframe.select stricter. Non-string columns can only be selected using nw.col. Right, pre-commit fixing some stuff for us. Also a little trick here, in case people don't know about it. Instead of doing git add-u and then git commit, you can do git commit -a-m to do the git add and the git commit together in the same step. Okay, got some MyPy things to sort out. Okay, unused type ignore. That's my favorite kind of MyPy error message. Then argtype. Yeah, we can do this. Let's just ignore this one. Type ignore argtype. It's just an internal function anyway. And let's open a pull request. So git push u origin head. U sets it as upstream. So now if we look at like git branch -vv, show current. Okay, it doesn't actually show which one it's tracking. But if we do git branch -vv, then we see that my local stricter select branch is tracking origin / stricter select, and origin is my Marco Gorelli / Narwhals remote. I've then got upstream, which is Narwhals dev / Narwhals, and then I've accumulated quite a few other upstreams from when I'm reviewing other people's pull requests. Right, let's see if we can now successfully move focus from VS Code to GitHub. Yeah, I think this is it. Maybe we need to make it a bit smaller. Sure why. Okay. Let's open this pull request. let's make sure that this last line appears in the title. Let's make they are happy with the release notes. Yeah, thanks, Dare, for making the release notes look so good. Really like them. Let's make sure to review our own pull request before we ask other people to review. And let's do this. I should also provide a little bit of context here. So I'm going to say which one was it? Yeah, here it is. So, okay, this one was just merged 3 days ago, so we're going to quickly revert that behavior before anyone notices. Reverting before anyone notices. Well, maybe before anyone uses it. Let's do see no evil. And so passing non-strings as expressions creates other problems. I noticed while reviewing the when then otherwise PR. If people want to select columns which might not be strings, they can use nw.col and be explicit. Right, now I would normally say wait for people to review your stuff. But there's a couple of other open pull requests. Maybe let's just merge these. Let's make a little exception to my normal rules. Let's make a release on a Friday afternoon, just in case anyone uses the odd select behavior which we'd merged the other day. Right, got some. Yeah, I got a few pull requests to take a look at. So there's not been any objections on these two. Well, we've got a laughing emoji from Francesco, and he's not objected to it. So I'd say let's get it in. And yeah, this one is fairly innocuous. Just is pandas like dataframe and is pandas like series. See if there's anything else we can merge and get into the release. Also, I've lost track of the chat. Yeah, okay, there's nothing new I hadn't caught up on. Right, we've got Francesco's list to broadcasters left operand. Right, yeah, so for okay, yeah, times lendf. This right, I'm gonna have to think about this one. I don't really want to rush merging it, so maybe let's wait for this one a bit longer. Anything else that's ready? There's a Knox revamp and coverage threshold change. Some horizontal ignores nulls. Yeah, let's see if we can get these in and make a quick release. How long do we have left? 6 minutes. Yeah, I think we can do it. We've got a party from Magdalena. Cool. So Knox revamp. I'm not actually using Knox myself. So I think I'm just going to trust Francesco on most of this. Okay, sure, fair enough. Yeah, sure. Okay, installing the nightly NumPy and the nightly Dask. Yeah, sure, no objections. And now, to reveal the magic of emojis in PR reviews, if I press approve, you see it just magically appears there. So let's say, thanks, Francesco, approve, submit review, and let's ship it. Then this some horizontal, I think this one was ready. So yeah, the idea is to fill these with nulls. Yeah, so that we're ignoring the null values, which seems sensible to me, and we're not supporting some. Yeah, we're not technically supporting some for non-numeric values anyway. So we support horizontal sum over numeric columns only. Yes, nice one. Right. Nice one. Okay, rewriting the docstring a bit while we're here. That can only be a good idea, but I'm. Oh, right, because it's put a null value. So for pandas, it becomes floats. This makes sense. Yeah, viewed. And then, okay, in the v1, it's the same thing. Both. Okay. And then we've got a little test for this to make sure that the null value is ignored. Expected 3. Yeah, this looks good. Yeah. Ship it, please. Yeah, the dog emojis aren't my... Sorry, the dog GIFs aren't my favorite ones. Maybe I should just manually remove them. I'll just... I'll just have a note about this one, like... Nah, I think this is okay. I think it's okay what it's done. Like in our backwards compatibility policy, we do say like that if there's bugs and things, like we might have to make changes. Okay, there's quite a few red pull requests, quite a few in draft pull requests. So let's make a quick release. We've got 2 minutes left, and I am not going out this evening, so if this release breaks anything, then I am going to be home to fix it. So gonna first delete the bump branch, and then let's do it locally. Let's follow the release process. And yeah, let's go back to VS Code. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to delete the bump version branch. I'm going to make it again, then Python utils bump version patch, and this is going to run a commit bump version to 1.5.4. And then here in the releases, let's just check that we don't lose the release notes. Oh, I need to go back to GitHub. Yeah. So let's make sure we don't lose the release notes. So I'm just going to open this page, get the edit, and then let's open a pull request with the new bump version. And once there's a new release, we can paste these notes into it. Should appear here any moment now. Right, let's see if there's anything in the chat we should get to. Pushing to prod on a Friday, famous last words. Yeah, we like to live dangerously here. or we like to clown around. Not really sure. Oh wait, I didn't actually. Lol. I didn't actually merge this pull request which I wanted, the select one. Oh well, this will be part of tomorrow's. Yeah, this will be part of tomorrow's release. Never mind. Oh well. Yeah, pushing to prod while. All right, we've got the new one, so we can paste the release notes into there. Pushing to prod on a Friday while doing a live stream. Not necessarily the best idea, but I'm not the wisest person, so I'm gonna do it anyway. Does this look good? Yeah, it looks brilliant. Update release. Nice. You've got it. Let's go back to the chat. And yeah, let's thank everyone. Thanks, everyone. This, yeah, was a lot of fun. Thanks for interacting and being present. Hope you learned something. And in any case, hope to see you in 2 weeks' time. All the best. Have a good one. Stay safe. Contribute to Narwhals. Spread the word about Narwhals. Ciao.